One of the really fun things about thrifting is that you never know exactly what you're going to find. I found this old wedding dress in a thrift store and I picked it up because it looked like it had a lot of potential for making a costume. After I washed it, I noticed and put it on the dress form, I noticed a couple different things. One of them is that this dress has already been altered. If we look down here at the bottom, we can see that once upon a time it looks like this dress was bustled up or stored. And you can see this line, and we can also see how the bottom lace was changed from here to here. So that was altered. If I look on the inside, it also looks like there was some altering done to the front. And based on some stitching over here, it looks like we had a little bit of alteration there. I'm not sure about the front with the lace appliques. They don't look exactly even, so I'm not sure if this was the original or not. This dress is actually really gorgeous. I'm not sure if this is silk, but it sure has the feel of silk, so it's kind of fun to think of what life this dress led before. Originally, my intention was to make a zombie or corpse bride sort of dress out of this old wedding dress. But once I put it on the dress form and I started looking at it, there are a number of things that made me think that maybe we needed to go a different direction. Particularly the shape of the front. This has a really deep front. This has a very corset looking appearance. I also noted how much the gathering here, and looked at the amount of fabric, and then also kind of looked at the way the hem was on the side. And that inspired me to pull out a bum pad. And when I put this on, so once we have the bum pad on, and we pull the dress down over the top, this dress really has a very nice historical look to it. The dress fits over the top of that bum pad really nicely, has that nice full shape in the back. So I think this dress is going to have a different purpose. I'm thinking that I'm going to change this into a more historical looking wedding dress. We maybe could use it for Addams Family, like for one of the zombie ancestors. It could possibly be used for the wedding scene in the Broadway version of Cinderella, or other possibilities. The things that I'm going to want to change are, this dress is very small as it is right now. This is a size 4 dress form, and I can't get the zipper all the way up. So I am going to want to open these side seams up a little bit and make it just a little bit bigger to give us a little more flexibility. The other thing I'm going to want to do is lower this neckline and kind of give it that characteristic square neckline. Probably what I'm going to do is cut off some of this lace trim and then cut this down, and then we'll see what happens. The other thing I'm going to want to do is take away these sleeves. The sleeves, if anything, really seem wrong for the era. I'm going to want to make some 3/4 length sleeves with a frill on the edge. Whether I do that using these, or if I see if I have some fabric that's a similar color and then maybe use these as the trim on the bottom, I don't know. But we're going to transform this old vintage wedding dress and see what happens.
Let's take another look at the original dress. This is the wedding dress as it was. It had a lot of heavy beaded lace on the bodice and sheer sleeves with lace and trim down the side. It has a deep V back, which I'm not able to close on my dress form. It also has a zipper, and you can see evidence that at one point there were buttons and button loops. We can see that the dress was folded up at some point, either in a bustle or something else, and the lace at the bottom was removed and then replaced. Here we have that lovely deep point at the front, which gives us a real historical feel. The first thing I did was open up those side seams and give what little extra width I could to the waist of the dress. Then I took the sleeves off. You can see that this changes the look of the dress already. Next, the heavy lace came off the front. It was just basted on, so this was easy. Here's a look at the back with the sleeves removed also. You can see the dress now zipped shut. There's a little bit of stitching line under the arm, but that isn't bothersome. Next, I wanted to change the neckline. I used a piece of newspaper and traced the basic shape that I wanted. I then transferred this to the dress with a heat-sensitive pen. I ran some stay stitching along that marked line and then cut the neckline out with the pinking shears. I needed something to make the sleeves out of and supplement the fabric, and as luck would have it, I had the perfect remnants of a dress just sitting underneath of my ironing board. This is a dress that I have already removed the collar off for a different project. It already had elbow-length sleeves, so I just removed those and replaced them on the dress. I cut a frill out of the bottom of the pleated skirt and added that to the bottom of the sleeves. Here is the dress with its new sleeves in place. You can see what a difference this already makes in the historical feeling of this dress. Now I wanted to focus on the bodice. I had the idea to use a pleated panel from the second dress across the front, which would tie the sleeves to the main dress. Here's a picture of that panel, although it's kind of hard to see. The panel was pinned across the front of the dress and then stitched across the top and then under the arms. Next, I began to fill in the bodice with the scraps of lace that I had from the front. I used a lot of pins to make sure I liked the pleats and the lace, and then once that was done, I hand stitched all of those lace pieces onto the bodice. As an aside here, I washed this dress on cold, gentle, and hung it dry as I do most garments that I purchase. These beads were glued on, and so I ended up with a lot of beads in my washing machine. And before I knew it, the dress was done. Here's a look at the finished dress. I love the way the horizontal pleats give the illusion of a corset and a stomacher and really enhance the historical look of this dress. The bum pad fits nicely and the back is complete. I did go ahead and make a modesty panel just in case someone would want a little more coverage in the back for maybe a little more authentic feel. This could just be velcroed or pinned in at whoever's choice. Here is my daughter modeling the dress for us because it's always more fun to see it on a person. I'm going to be really sad because she leaves for college shortly and I won't have her to model my costumes. She is not wearing a petticoat under this dress, just the bum pad, so it would have a lot more body and shape if there was actually a petticoat underneath. I love the hat I made too. I just think you can really see that this dress would look great if you were going to a garden party. You could also use it for one of the ancestors in Addams Family or a lot of different historical shows. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. And if you would like more information, you can find it on my blog at www.costumecraze.me. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy costuming!